for joining us for Your Voice, Your Stories. I'm Randall Newsom. We kick things off tonight with an organization looking to make Park Heights a better place. Raven Payne breaks down the plan and has reaction from neighbors, some of them feeling very hopeful about the positive change this could bring to the community.
Cleaner, safer, better. A new initiative for Park Heights coming as welcome news for business owners and neighbors.
Park Heights Renaissance has big plans for the Park Heights Main Street. The organization seeks to create a cleaner, safer, and more vibrant neighborhood by fostering environmental design, workforce opportunities, and business engagement. Neighbor Tracy Smith says he's ready for it.
I want to see it. They've been talking about it for years. They already started doing the racetrack, so we will see if it's going to be real true about it.
He wants to see
more police. The police do a good job up here, though.
Yeshia Israel owns YBI African Apparel on Park Heights Ave and has for about 20 years. She says the current condition of the area sometimes influences where she meets customers.
I want it to be nice where the customers could actually come into the store and feel comfortable to bring their dollars. So right now they invite me to their location, whether I'm at the Hilton, whether I'm at Pikesville, whether I'm at Martin West, wherever they are.
Another Park Heights resident says the work should start with the community.
Raise your kids, your nephews, cousins, your nephews' friends. Tell them, yo, you see that right there? Pick it up.
Park Heights Renaissance is seeking out vendors and community partners to aid in the revitalization process. The deadline to submit your qualifications to the organization is November 24th. In Park Heights, Raven Payne, WMAR 2 News.
Adrienne Watson Carver, known as Miss A, created Studio A Modeling, Etiquette, and Dance Academy, which has been transforming the lives of many young girls in Baltimore. I'm Janae Wright, and it has remained a successful studio for the past 25 years.
What started out as just an idea grew into an entire community once Miss A took a leap of faith and quit her job in education at the time to dive headfirst into creating Studio A.
I understand that God has used me for a purpose much greater than me and much greater than I could have ever thought about. Like, I'm excited because I did this because it was just something that I loved.
She says not only has the studio been life-changing for her, but it has had a positive impact on her students beyond just dancing and modeling.
Many of my students are doctors and lawyers, entrepreneurs, leaders in the school system, STEM leaders. They're doing everything.
And as the studio grew over the years, so did its opportunities to compete on a national level, which Miss A says they've been doing since 2023. She says when she thinks about the last 25 years, she says she's proud to have built a unique community. I
couldn't do it without my students and my families who support Studio A and believe in Studio A and all that we try to do in the community 110%.
Studio A not only teaches its students new skills and builds up their confidence, but thanks to Studio A Foundation's scholarships, it is also investing in its students' futures.
The foundation has awarded over $750,000 in scholarships over the past 21 years.
Ms. A says now that she's reached this milestone, she's looking forward to the next 25 years.
Being that within the next 25 more years, my children will be able to continue what we've done and continue to be a blessing.
In the meantime, the studio is having a gala on December 13th, which will bring together all the students and families from over the years to celebrate. Janae Wright, WMAR 2 News.
I'm Maria Morales at the UMBC campus in Catonsville. There's an old saying that the race is not given to the swift, but it's given to people like Jackie King who have the endurance to finish it. What started as a childhood dream became a reality Sunday for this Baltimore native who refuses to let blindness slow her down. Jackie King crossed the finish line at the New York City Marathon, completing the 26.2-mile course in just over 5 hours.
I felt accomplished. I felt like, wow, I did that. And because my goal was never to set a time. My goal is to finish well. And I finished well.
It's her 5th marathon. She also ran the Baltimore Running Festival last month and the Charles Street 12-miler earlier this year. Now 66, Jackie started running at age 40. At the time, she was having symptoms like seeing flecks and dark spots.
I was in a movie theater watching a movie. I just remember being in the theater thinking, wow, it's really dim. Like, you know, and I said, I guess my eyes will adjust. And it never did.
Diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa in 2017, a genetic condition that gradually deteriorates the retina, she can no longer recognize faces, see colors, or read text on paper.
Everything was great. I think the most distinct drop in my vision when I could no longer recognize a person's face.
Yet she kept running, now with guides from the Achilles Running Club who give verbal clues.
The two guys that I ran with for New York, one was on my right, one's on my left. They will say, Jackie, come to your left. Jackie, high knees. Jackie, a little bit to your right.
At UMBC, where she's Associate Director of the URISE program, Jackie mentors undergraduate STEM students like Jessica Hoffman.
She not only overcomes challenges, but she exceeds expectations, I think, in a lot of ways. And so I think as students, that's really inspiring to see, because you want to hear from your mentor that, you know, they want you to succeed, but it's also amazing to see your mentor succeed.
Jackie is outrunning every obstacle in large part to the community she's created here at UMBC, in the running community, and in the blind community.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's an African proverb. Not every visually impaired person is going to run a New York City Marathon, right? But, you know, it's a group of people in a community that I've really been very, very grateful to have now become a part of.
In Catonsville, Maria Morales, WMAR 2 News.
With the government shutdown dragging on, many Marylanders are feeling the strain. And for our veterans, these uncertain times can hit especially hard. I'm Sayera Williams, your Voice for Veterans reporter, and one North Baltimore nonprofit is reminding the community they're not alone.
At Getco in North Baltimore, the food pantry is stocked, and staff say furloughs and food insecurity have more families, including veterans, asking for help.
We've seen an uptick and people coming far as the food pantry and with utility assistance. We just trying to do the best we can.
How many of those people are veterans?
I'll say out of the people who've been coming in, I'll say about, if you say out of 50 people, I'll say about 8 or 9 were veterans.
Earl Thomas, a Marine veteran himself, says he's seeing more veterans than ever needing food, utility, and housing assistance as the shutdown stretches on.
It's sad because for this country to be so divided, and you're causing veterans and especially other veterans who work for the government, they got pride and they thought this would be the last place they'll come to go to a food pantry and get assistance to pay their bills.
Getco's Pantry runs Mondays and Thursdays 9 to 11 a.m. and Saturdays 10 to noon, and their team helps with BGE bills and eviction prevention. Last week's Getco's job fair drew over 140 people, about 30 veterans, as families look for stability.
People and families are living on the edge, you know, from paycheck to paycheck. They're just trying to make ends meet. And so a lot of times people fall on hard times if they lose a job or somebody gets sick. You know, they might face eviction from their apartment. They might face utility cutoffs. And so whether that's the veterans or just anybody in the neighborhood, you know, we're just trying to help people so they don't fall into much worse crisis.
Getco says that they are here to help you stay afloat through hard times. If you need assistance, you can head to our website at WMAR2news.com. But for now, in North Baltimore, Sayera Williams, WMAR2 News.
A business owner in Annapolis is asking Baltimore City to stop sending her fines for vacant properties she doesn't own. It all comes down to a name mix-up, one that's been costing her time, money, and peace of mind. So she turned to WMAR2 News' Mallory Safaste to help put an end to this years-long saga, because if it matters to you, it's a matter for Mallory.
Sandy Newer runs a small consulting firm out of Annapolis. She has no ties to Baltimore, and yet she's been hit with citations and lawsuits for vacant homes here, like this one, linked to a company with the same name as hers. Despite pointing out this mistake to the city, she says it hasn't been fixed, costing her thousands in legal fees and hours trying to set the record straight.
It may look forgotten, ivy crawling up the walls and blocking the door, but this vacant Baltimore home is haunting someone miles away in Annapolis.
These were my little notes where I got served this paper. I found the law firm that did the title when the property was sold.
Sandy Newer runs Prestige Solutions LLC, a consulting business in good standing with the state. So when she started receiving code violations for a vacant home back in 2023, she figured it was a simple mistake.
The name on it is not mine. I mean, they think it's mine, but it's the wrong name.
The deed lists a different Prestige Solutions LLC along with Curtis Group Holdings LLC as the owners. And Sandy sent that information to Baltimore's Department of Housing and Community Development.
This inspector, who is a building official, who didn't really answer ever. So I then called the office number and I go about my happy life. And then that was like in August. And then, boom, I get this humongous lawsuit, like a couple months later, about another property.
A lawsuit to foreclose on a different Baltimore property owned by the other Prestige Solutions, not Sandy's company, but she was mistakenly named in the case.
So I hire a lawyer. I answer formally this lawsuit with this letter.
Her response was denied on a technicality. The case moved forward and the judge transferred the property to the company that filed the lawsuit.
It's totally owned by this plaintiff who sued. The ownership, the lease, all title free and clear goes to this owner, and it's all said and done, right? Well, 2 days ago, I get another one about this same property that I'm apparently not the owner of, and it's another violation from an inspector. It's just one of these things that keeps you up at night. It's so disturbing.
In a statement to WMAR 2 News, a spokesperson for the Baltimore Department of Housing and Community Development said this appears to be an isolated case, and based on our initial review, this seems to be human error rather than an issue with the data itself. We are investigating why this specific violation record was not corrected when it was first brought to our attention, and we are implementing corrective measures to prevent recurrence.
Because there are so many of our vacant properties that are owned by LLCs, it does get tricky to try to find the right ownership.
Baltimore City Councilwoman Odette Ramos, who's been pushing to address the city's vacant housing crisis, says cases like this highlight a bigger problem. LLCs own nearly 1/3 of Baltimore's 12,000 vacant homes, compared to just 8% owned by the city. She's proposed legislation to make it easier for the city to take control of more of these properties and limit their impact on neighborhoods. And it's not just a paperwork issue. Tracking down the owners is critical for safety. That effort starts with the vacant building registry.
Register their properties if they have a non-owner occupied property. That way we could try to get more information. That doesn't always happen, right? So it does take a lot of digging that DHCD and frankly any other entity who's trying to figure out what the ownership is to be able to get to the right person and make sure that they're holding the right person accountable.
We tried tracking down the real owner, but the LLCs tied to this house aren't registered in Maryland, and the New Jersey filing doesn't list an owner or contact information. The city says this inconsistency between the deed and state business filings may be what's causing this misidentification. In Baltimore, Mallory Safaste, WMAR 2 News.
Councilwoman Ramos says there also needs to be a push at the state level for more transparency when companies register as LLCs here in Maryland. There was a public hearing this week on her bill to make it easier for the city to acquire vacant properties, and she's also proposing legislation to tax vacant property owners at a higher rate. Now, if you scan the QR code on your screen, this will take you to Mallory's report. There you can learn more about the city's process to identify and cite property owners with code violations. And if you have a matter for Mallory, she wants to hear from you. Email her at Mallory@WMAR.com or find her on Facebook and X.
I'm Kelly Sue from Baltimore County. Do you remember any of your teachers from school? If you had Debbie Phelps, you probably do. Find out how her legacy will help foster the next generation of students coming up.
DC's loss is Baltimore's gain. An inside look at Amy Sherrill's American Sublime exhibition after censorship concerns caused a last-minute shakeup.
We hope you never need us.
WMAR 2 News, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, it almost didn't happen, but curators at the Baltimore Museum of Art say they moved mountains to bring Amy Sherrill's American Sublime to life. WMAR 2 News' Blair Sable shares the significance of this display, especially now.
If we can move mountains here. The Baltimore Museum of Art has unveiled its potentially biggest show yet, American Sublime. It's an up-close and personal look at portraits by artist Amy Sherrill.
What you begin to understand is that there is a humanity in each of us that Amy has so vividly constructed with her beautiful choice of colors and clothing and the way in which the sitter is looking out at you.
The collection of 38 works dating back to 2007 debuted earlier this month. It includes Sherald's most recognizable piece, First Lady Michelle Obama's historic official portrait.
Even if you think you know Amy Sherald's work, what you may not know is the true kind of breadth, beauty, imagination, possibility that her project entails. By some, Sherald's work has been seen as political, but it was this larger-than-life black trans Statue of Liberty that caused a political controversy almost as large as the painting itself.
The exhibition was slated to open at the Smithsonian, but concerns about censorship to appease the Trump administration caused Sherald to pull out, news that was celebrated by the White House. But BMA curators quickly stepped in.
And the reason we did it is because Amy's work deserves to be seen by Baltimoreans.
The effort would normally have taken 2 years, but was done in just a matter of months.
When so much of art and culture is under siege, but at a moment also when so much creativity is showing us the way forward in dark times, it was a really important moment for the Baltimore Museum of Art.
But perhaps Baltimore is a more fitting place than D.C. Sherald attended the Maryland Institute College of Art, and nearly half of her subjects are born and bred Baltimoreans.
Amy's work is a story that tells all of us to believe in humanity, to believe in difference, and to respect each other no matter what we look like or what we believe in.
The exhibition will run until early April. In Baltimore, Blair Sable, WMAR 2 News.
Baltimore County is paying tribute to Debbie Phelps. She retired in January after a decades-long career educating students and teachers in the county. And as Kelly Swoop shows us, her name will be used to inspire the next generation of young students.
These pint-sized preschoolers could have stolen the show if it weren't for the woman who was being honored in Padonia.
Congratulations, Debbie. May your name forever be a symbol of inspiration, and may this school be a place where dreams take flight.
Debbie Phelps spent decades educating and helping children and teachers in Baltimore County. Now a new generation will attend a preschool dedicated in her name, the Padonia Learning Center Legacy School.
Very humbling to be recognized for something that I've loved doing, is teaching and learning. So it's quite an honor for me, personally. Very touching.
On this day, Phelps was surrounded by family, friends, colleagues, and community leaders to pay homage to the educator who's done so much for others. She remembered her first job as an administrator in Baltimore County.
I was their mother. I was their mentor. I was their aunt. I was their sister. I was everything to these kids. And we learned so much together. We traveled together. So, Christine, if you were to describe me during that time, how would you describe me? A lifesaver.
Phelps was also known for being a standout parent. She raised 3 children, 2 girls and a son. The baby boy who grew up to become the most decorated Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps.
When someone says, "You're Michael's mom," I'm like, "Yeah," and Hillary and Whitney's. Being a mother, being a parent is very difficult at times, but it's very rewarding. So being the mother of Michael has given me many experiences and opportunities that I wouldn't have had before.
With her own decorated career, she's written a book, headed to writing a second, and now enjoying her new life as a retiree.
You know, I spent 50 years in education, from the classroom to central office to principal's office to boardroom. So I've had really a gamut of learning experiences in education, but always centered around supporting kids and teachers. So it's hard to let go.
But with her name on the building in Padonia, Baltimore County won't let Phelps go or be forgotten for all that she's done. In Padonia, Kelly Swoop, WMAR 2 News.
County that comes with freshly brewed teas and coffees and a side of cat snuggles.
Well, there's a new place you can come to cuddle cute little kitties and also sip tea here in Ellicott City. I'm Megan Knight with a look at the new Luna Cat Collective. Hi, sweetie.
Sleepy cats, hungry cats, playful cats. There's a vibe for every cat and human at the Luna Cat Collective.
This is Bubbles. She is the ultimate lab cat.
Hi, Miss Bubbles.
Hi, Miss Bubbles. Thank you for joining.
Ruth Wang and Brendan Morrison are co-owners of this cat cafe, where customers can enjoy a tea or coffee while playing with an adoptable cat in a space set up just like a home.
We definitely wanted it to feel like a second home for people and a safe space that they could escape to if they were having a difficult time. Just somewhere they can relax and that the cats would feel comfortable enough to come up to you and say hello.
Ruth says the inspiration came after she lost her mom and she and Brendan adopted 2 cats.
They absolutely changed my life and they really helped me heal. So we wanted to share that with the community.
These cats come from Small Miracles Cat and Dog Rescue just up the road on Route 40. Founder Moira Liskovec is happy to get the cats out of cages and into their new homes.
When I went down the one time, there was a little girl laying on the bed there and she had 5 cats surrounding her. And that just made my day. It's like, this place is awesome. It really is lovely.
And on this day we visited, this guy, Jasper, was all set to leave for his new home.
So we're really, really excited for him.
Jasper is our first adoption.
He's gonna have 3 cat siblings.
It's the first of hopefully many happy tales for these adorable adoptable felines.
Goodbye is the goal.
It is.
Goodbye is the goal.
It's all bittersweet, but it's all for the best.
And the cafe plans to do cat-centric events too, like kitty meditation and cat yoga. For more details, you can go to our website. I'm Megan Knight for WMAR 2 News.
All right, if you have stories you'd like us to cover, we want to hear from you. Email us at storyideas@wmar.com. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Be sure to tune in again next week for Your Voice, Your Stories. I'm Randall Newsom. Have a great night.